Okay, I'm up. It's so bright. For what it's worth, I really did wake up like 5 minutes ago and just record. Let's go on an artist date. Week 2. I really want to crawl back into bed and just stay here all day. Okay. Beautiful. I'm gonna get ready for my artist date. Hi, Mama. It looks really nasty out there. And I'm not looking forward to it. But this is part of it. She says, I feel like the audio is crap in here and I apologize. I'll put up my mic in a second, but I really don't feel like it today. And I know I mentioned last week, but Julie Cameron does say that your inner critic will essentially try to find a reason to not go on the artist date. It'll be like, oh, what's the point? Which is exactly how I feel right now. I'm like, oh, what's the point? I love me, I'm fine. But I'm going anyway, because sometimes we have to practice doing things that we don't want to do, simply because we know that those things are going to make us feel better. Police officer just told me a really long story and it got me out of my journaling mood. I think he thought I was in distress and I am not. Said, no thank you, sir. I'm good. But then he just didn't leave, you know? Anyways, it's starting to rain and it's so pretty out here where I am. And I just came to do my morning pages. I'd love to read you some, but I'm not allowed to go back and read them, so who knows what's in there. I'm also going to do a little bit of my Artist Way reading right here as my little artist date. I thought I was going to go to the studio today, and then as it turns out, I got way too socially anxious. Honestly, I'm kind of socially anxious right now because there was this white van that drove by twice, and I was a little bit nervous, so I was like, let me just wait till, like, he's gone for good. And then he was gone for good, and a cop pulled up, and I'm like, did he call the cops on me? But anyways, cop was actually super delightful, really sweet, but very talkative, and I just didn't have the patience or, like, the social stamina for that. I was like, sir, I'm not in distress. Am I doing something wrong? And he's like, no. And he's like, but what are you doing? And I was like, I'm filming a YouTube video. Like, I get that I look like my car's probably broken down on the side of the road, but it's not. I'm just filming a YouTube video, as awkward as that was to say out loud to a cop. And he was like, oh, okay. Why? And I was like, because I want to. I don't know. I'm starting a YouTube channel. Don't judge me. I felt super judged. And then he was telling me about all the places out here that are like the best spots for filming, who's got the good view and all this stuff. And I'm like, buddy, I drive out here every morning. I appreciate the sentiment, but I know what I'm doing. And he was like, oh, don't go to that area. That area is actually, he did tell me some of the areas that I was going to. He was like, oh, I wouldn't go over there. You're a little girl. I was like, thank you for looking out. But I'm fine. Okay, now I'm going to do my reading for real. So, as I said earlier, my social anxiety this day was just absolutely through the roof. I don't know why. I had spent more time alone this week than I had in a long time, really just looking inward, doing my reading, spending my time somewhat productively, and I just got really in my head about where I'm supposed to be and why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I know that the book talks a lot about your inner critic saying that what's the point is just fear in disguise, and I genuinely haven't had the time to figure out what it is that I'm afraid of. Maybe I'm afraid of being perceived, maybe I'm afraid of being judged, I don't know. But this week was really exhausting for me energetically, and so I just went for my coffee drive for my artist date, and then I came back home, I threw some things on the wheel, and called it a night. I know this week's episode was a little short, but I'm excited to get back to it next week. See you then.